Okay, Miss Amani, have you come back?
Okay, yes, I'm back. Go ahead.
Okay, all of you come back, guys. Let make sure. Nobody's answering. It seems that nobody comes back.
No, we have about 8 participants right now.
Okay, so Miss Noha came back. Perfect. Okay, shall I continue, Miss Amani?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, Miss Shaima came back too. Thank you, Miss Shaima. Okay, so this is the final step, guys, in the ladder of the steps of stopping repeating yourself and speaking with power. The eighth point is speaking about or tells, do not repeat, as we said before. If a student asks you what they are supposed to do, answer by telling the student to follow your directions. Be strict in this point, guys. Sure, in a gentle way. I'm not talking here about toughness or shouting or screaming sometimes, not yet. Just in gentle way, tell your students that to follow your directions like that. Jack, what have I told you to do at the beginning of the class? Like that. This encourages students listen intently or intentively to your directions and take responsibility by finding out from a classmate. Sure, that happens. Very important. And now the time for the maturity day, as they said. Now the time to get the rewards. Big benefits. By following the guidelines above and never repeating yourself, you will cut the amount of talking you do in half. You will have better energy at the end of the day. By the end of the day, you will find some flat smiles over your faces, not gloomy faces. Since you are taking a kind of, accepting yourselves. Now you are yourselves. Now you did the best. Now you are the head. It's a kind of satisfaction, you can say, or convincing. Convincing who? Satisfying or convincing yourself is that you got the job well, you did your job well, and your dreams are about to come true. And I hope not to be the opposite, because it happens to me personally. Once I got bored or once I got bothered of an action inside the class, even my children notes my face. Sure, you know what I mean. So you will get a lot more done, saving your efforts, saving your time. Still you are living over the earth in a good health without blood pressure or something like that. May Allah protect us. Okay. To sum it up, guys, this is the final station. These are not my own words. As you may see here, Stanford University economist Eric Hanushek, one of the most famous economists all over the world, by the way, has noted that the difference between a good and a bad teacher can be a full level of student achievement in a single school year. What does that mean? It means that if you want to judge or try to show the evidence of being a good teacher or not, try to check his or her students' achievements inside the class over the course of a year. You will find the fact. He said that, and we say that. Actions speak louder. Try to save your time, guys. Try to save your efforts. Never, ever to burn yourselves out. Stop doing that, please. Still you have a flowering future. Save your energy and be ready to take off for such a glowing, or you can say a flourishing future that are waiting for you. How can we do that? And day and night we are exerting ourselves hard inside our classes. Some guys told me that before they forgot even how to smile by the end of the day. Imagine that. That was my end. And I hope that if I did something well, so thanks to Allah the Almighty, and thanks for you, sure. And if I committed a mistake here, I hope that you will forgive. Thank you very much, guys. And I hope that I granted you all the benefits I have up till now.
Thanks,
Until we
Mr.
meet
Said.
again in other sessions.
Thanks, Mr. Said, for your full session, and thanks for everybody who
Thank you,
attended
Ms.
today.
Amani. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Really, and much more informative than we expected. Really excellent.
No. I said that before. I am amongst a collection or a group of highly educated and sophisticated experts. And that's true. I mean that. I'm not exaggerating at all.
Thanks, Mr. Said.
Thank you, Mr. Mah. Thank you, Mr. Adwa.
Anyone would like to ask questions here?
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, you can unmute yourself and
please.
ask.
Yes, please, guys, go ahead.
Yes, Mr.
If you have
Said.
some question, go ahead.
Yes, Mr. Said, this is Dr. Radwa.
Hala, Dr. Radwa. Nice to meet you.
Me too. First of all, many thanks for you about this informative session, which
Thanks
is
a lot.
a very interesting one and which tackles very interesting and very important topic, which is about classroom management.
You are welcome, Dr. Radwa.
Thank you very much. Okay, this is fine in the offline classroom or face-to-face classroom. What about online classroom?
That's the point, Dr. Radwa. Okay, very nice question. Okay, you can continue if you have something else.
Okay, and this is one, and another one. What about the book you have talked about at the beginning of the session?
Okay. So
are you going to send us the link or the PDF here in the session?
Sure, I'll do that. This is the least to do for your majesty or your excellence.
Okay, thank you very much. Or you can support it with, yes, we can take it as a reference for us to read more about the classroom management.
Sure, please do that. That. For your question, Dr. Radwa.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. As for the first point of your question, whether these regulations or steps should be followed in physical classrooms or what about the other online classrooms? Let's agree about that. All the last, you can say 3 months up to now, we are discussing, we are getting online to speak about how we can make the difference by using online learning, how can we make a jump for the online assessment, blah, blah, blah. Now the world is going by its face into the online learning. Sure, this is the reality up to now, but let's agree about that. It's not my word, by the way. All the sophisticated researchers in the educational field up to now, and I have many pamphlets for that, assured this point. Whatever you are expert in using online platforms, you will not, by a way or another, do without physical classrooms. The valid learning, the valid education springs from physical classrooms. This is not to say that we can all the time depend on the physical classrooms and setting aside the online classrooms, especially at the time of COVID-19. No, on the contrary. But I'm talking about, let's imagine the decisions that the Minister of Education has issued 2 weeks ago, I think, when he said, we have to go to school for 2 days maybe, or 3 days. That assures the point I'm talking about. We cannot work without physical classrooms. What have we tackled today up to now concerning the decision should be applied in physical classrooms. Okay, what about online classrooms? We cannot sure apply that, because even if you apply these 8 steps, the response of your students will differ. You will not find any response of your students because you are not physically meeting. What I'm talking about here, that session should be applied physically in our physical classrooms. And I hope that I answered your question well. And thank you, Dr. Rado.
Okay, more questions?
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Sayed. So what about the book?
Okay, I'm gonna to send the link to Miss Amani.
Okay.
And sure, I'll be happy. I'll be very, very happy, Dr. Radwa, to share that, because this is your right. It's not.
Could you put it the link, or could you type it in the chat box?
Right now, okay, I'm gonna to do that. Okay, or at least if I didn't do that because of maybe technical problems or something else, it's not an excuse, by the way. I promised I'm gonna to observe my promise, inshallah.
No, I know you are going to do it, but just if you could type it in the chat box, many thanks for you.
If I can right now, I can do that. If not, I'm gonna to send it to Miss Amani. She's gonna to make that instead of me, and I'm sure she's professional and even more professional than me.
Thank you, thank you.
Everything
will be shared on the platform.
Hello, can I ask a question?
Okay,
yes,
go ahead.
Yes, please.
Okay, can I ask a question? Hello.
Yes,
okay,
please.
go ahead.
Mrs. Nagwa Mustafa from SEWS.
Hi, Miss Nagwa. How are you?
Fine, thanks. I think we repeat ourselves to make sure that the learner gets the point. Can we use ICQs for this point to make sure that they understand ICQs and the CCQs instead of repeating ourselves? Can we use CCQs to make sure that they get the point?
Sure. Frankly speaking, this will be very interesting. See, Miss Nagwa, anyway, you can deceive your, let us use this word in between brackets, deceive, you know, may Allah protect your kids or children. Imagine now, my kid, once he or she went in a case of fever or something like that. As you may know, children or kids do not like the taste or the flavor of medicine. What can we do concerning this point? We can deceive them. You can promise them, okay, if you take the medicine, I'm gonna to give you extra money. I'm gonna to give you extra game on the computer. I'm gonna to give you a bar of chocolate. A kind of deceiving. Now you can do the same thing technically and more academically. The point we are talking about now, using some tactics like these, it will be fruitful. The most important target is that never to repeat yourself. Using MCQs or any kind of tactics is a kind of deceiving, or let's say academic deceiving, just to get control and just to get your students in the class fully engaged. Very perfect. You can do that. Why not? Thanks a lot for this point.
Many thanks. Many thanks for this great session.
You're welcome, Miss.
Thanks a lot.
You're welcome. Any more questions, guys?
Okay,